Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. Well, what a week of football. I'm talking about fantasy football. I'm talking about football, the football world in general. I'm talking about manager sackings. I mean, it was just such an eventful 7 days. And I haven't really recovered and got over it, to be honest with you. I still kind of process whatever has gone on over the last 7 days. But we're here to talk fantasy football. And with me tonight, we have FPL Swang and Sam. Sam, how are you doing?
Hi, mate. Good to be back after a 1 week break. Yeah, the week's been going on forever, Super League and all that. But yeah, now that it's dead, let's focus on fantasy football.
Yep.
Is it dead, though? That's the big question, because I think Perez is still adamant that
it's dead for English clubs. It's dead for English clubs. They can go on. We don't care.
Still insist on that bullshit league.
Real, it is Barca, a bullshit league. Milan, they can go on. Those three can go on. The rest are okay.
They can organize a friendly between them three.
Well, I'm glad we're anti-ESL here on the show. Joining us as well is FPL Swang. Swang, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, glad to be back after the wild card I had 2 weeks ago, and can't wait for a new game week after the longest game week since I can't remember.
Well, I mean, like I keep saying every week, it just always feels like there's games after games after games, in consecutive days. There's no real time to really rest. But we have a duty. We have to inform the FPL community what our expert opinions are. And that's why I have you two on the show, to kind of put your necks out on the line and help people with their teams. All right, we're going to go straight into it. Game week 32 review. Boys, I trust you have your teams up. I'm just going to get to that right now. But Swang, we're going to start with you. Was it a good week for you, or was it a bad week for you?
It was a damn good week. Despite having only having 10 players, I scored 96 points with a -4 hit, so I scored 92 points in total. I triple captain Kane. I mean, it was all right, but I expected more since he only featured in one game. And my main star, Mason Greenwood, with 15 points.
Wow, amazing. You got Mason Greenwood in there. Absolutely crazy that you, what a shout that was for you. And was it 92 points for your total week?
92.
Wow. I mean, it really doesn't get better than that. And there was no triple captain.
If I had a keeper, it'll be better. Both my keepers were rotated.
Yeah, no Mendy. I'm sure a few FPL managers definitely suffered from that. But was there a triple captain used? Yeah.
Yeah, I triple captain Kane.
Yeah, and me, like you, I did exactly the same. Absolutely gutted when he got injured in what was something like the 90th minute or whatever it was, and then obviously unable to play the next fixture because he was looking like he was in really good form.
And they had a penalty.
That could have been a massive haul for us. It could have been a massive green arrow for all of us, really shoot us up the ranks. But it wasn't to be. You were just saying, Swing, sorry?
In the second match, they won a penalty. If Kane was on the pitch, you know he's going to score that.
100%. Absolutely. No question about it. We'll come on to what's happened with Spurs and whether and Spurs assets in a while. But Sam, we're going to switch over to your team and look at that and how you did there for game week 22. 94 points. Wow. Well, I mean, we thought that Swings was good, but wow, you kind of blown down the water now.
I took a -4 hit, so technically I'm still below Swing by 2 points.
Okay.
You're damn good.
You got 90. You got 96 with a -4. You got 96 with a -4. I got 94 with a -4. So we are around about there.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah,
walk us through your team.
Okay, let's start from the back. Double luster defense. It was one of the calls on my wild card. Didn't work last week. This week came through. easy as it was against West Brom anyway. Now, the transfer that I did last week, although I said that I'm only going to go 2 Spurs like about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I went Christensen to Region. That didn't work out at all. Christensen got 7 points. Region got 0 clean sheets. And if he wasn't a crackhead, he wouldn't have won the penalty. So, it was a meh transfer.
He also considered a penalty.
Yeah. He was the reason they didn't get a clean sheet in the first game anyway. So, what goes around comes around, I guess. And then Luke Shaw, we shouldn't have conceded that game. That was that. And then Alexander-Arnold, again, didn't keep a clean sheet, but he got an attack in return. Maximum bonus, so yeah, you can't really complain too much. Then moving into the midfield, Fernandez, funny thing, he actually played quite well, but he ended up being involved in all 3 goals without getting a single goal and an assist. That's the worst bit.
That's not good for FPL.
Yeah. He did a dummy for the first goal, passed it to Pogba for the second, and passed it to Donny for the third. And somehow he came out with 2 points. And then Son got the penalty in the end. It was, I guess, a successful transfer since I did Sterling to Son. Yeah. Lingard penalty, I'll take it again. And Jota, 3 points. He got quite a lot of shots actually in that game. I didn't actually watch it because of the
I was expecting a little bit more from Jota actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the thing is, right, I didn't actually watch it, like the replay or the actual match because of the whole Super League saga. But apparently he had quite a lot of shots and he had one big chance missed. So I'm inclined to think it could have been more. So yeah.
We'll come on to Jota as well because there might be some news on his availability for game week 33, but we'll keep an eye on that. But surely, obviously, I mean, we touched on Kane there with Sweng's team, but we didn't really talk too much about Iheanacho. Just how much of a value pick is he right now?
Funny thing is, it could have been more as well with him because he had one chance right at the start where he was running at Sam Johnston. He took a heavy touch, which kind of ruined his chances. Got another chance, which he got the goal from. And then he had another chance, like about 45 minutes after that, where he blazed it over the bar. So technically, he's the one getting the chances, not Vardy. Vardy's the one kind of creating the chances at the moment.
Okay. You said you took a hit. Who was your hit for again? Sorry.
I took Sterling and Christensen out, and I brought Son and Reguilon in. Okay.
So you went full on with your Spurs triple up on for the double game week, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Sweet. That's the game week 32 review for both Sweng and Sam. Obviously, both scored sky-high points. 92 for Sweng, 94 for Sam. Although both did take hits, but you just can't argue those kind of points, really. Okay, let's shoot on straight over to blank game week 33 now. And boys, well, we know and we knew that this week was going to come upon us. We knew about the City and Spurs Carabao Cup final. But the one thing about this week that I would say is it just comes straight after a double game week, and for Spurs that is, and just when you always like thinking about, do I load up on Spurs? Because if that's the case, I either have to have a very strong bench, or I've got to take them out almost immediately, whether you free hit it or take hits or whatever it is, or do you just go for the bare minimum, which for most I think would have been Son and Kane, and then just skip the third Spurs. But blank game week 33. Keep or sell Spurs assets. Swen, we're going to start with you now. What are you doing with your Spurs assets? I can't remember if you had City assets.
I have Diaz, Son, and Kane. I already sold Diaz for Lewis Dunk. The thing about this Spurs blank game week is you have to look at game week 34. They are playing Sheffield United. You will want all your Spurs players in that game. So it's even more of a dilemma. If you sell him now, you probably want to buy him back immediately the game week after. So you have to balance whether you want to sell this game week. I'm still thinking whether to sell Sun to Bruno Fernandes, and I'll think about it in the next hour. It's tempting to me because I don't like the fact that Vidra is in my 11 right now, and I'm thinking whether should I bring Fernandes in.
Is there any possibility of you taking another hit this week to maybe take?
Yeah, that will be my hit. If I take Fernandes in, Fernandes will be my hit. Then I'll probably sell Fernandes to Sun again in the game 34 for Sheffield United.
Okay, so that is your plan. Diaz, to Dunk though, talk us more about Dunk. Why do you think he's one of those players? Well, why is he the player that you're bringing in or brought in?
That's only one reason. He's playing Sheffield United. And Sheffield United, well, they are so poor. And they have Brewster up top. I can't see them scoring. And Dunk can score a header from a corner, has a goal threat. And I'm already doubling up on Brighton as well with Veltman. I'm going all in.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, so you're very confident of a Brighton clean sheet there. We're just over an hour away from the game week deadline. When will you make that decision whether you're going to take a hit or not?
Probably 10 minutes before the deadline.
10 minutes before the deadline. Running it tight, running it right to the wire. Love it. Swing. Anything else to add for your game week? Your blank game week 33 team. What should the FPL community be doing in your opinion in terms of whether they have Kane, Son, Sterling, Mahrez, Gundogan?
I would say try to load up on your lesser assets as many as you can for this game week. And if you don't have Iheanacho, just get him in immediately for this game week.
We'll talk about players to target for blank game week 33 in just a minute. Sam, we're going to come to your team and see what you've got for your blank game week 33, and tell us what you were doing with Spurs and City assets as well.
Okay, so from the off, I don't have any City assets, so that question is answered. I'm not doing anything since I have nothing.
Yeah.
But the other ones with Spurs, right? It's a tough one because right after the blank, they have Sheffield United, and their fixtures after that are actually not that bad. You have Leeds away. You probably want attackers for that one. Wolves at home. You probably want a defender. Villa at home. Depends on if Jack Grealish is back. At the moment, Jack Grealish seems like he's never going to play football again. So
don't forget about the new manager bounce. The new manager bounce as well.
Mourinho's no longer in the job.
Yeah,
that's a big factor.
Well, I was just going to say, does that mean we start loading up on attacking Spurs assets straight after this? Gareth Bale's one that screams to me because obviously got a goal as well, very well taken goal. He's obviously got 5 games left or 6 games left, really, for him to. Well, I don't know whether he wants to try and persuade Daniel Levy to part with that kind of money, but he's got another 6 games to try and show Spurs fans why he should have played more this season. Is that someone we should be looking at as well?
I feel like Bale is probably a good shout because I feel like before the whole thing where he said he only came to Spurs before the Euros and stuff, and then before that he was actually playing so well. After that, Mourinho just went, you're on the bench now, you're never playing football again. And then he got sacked. Straight after, he scored again. So I'm tempted by Bale. The plan initially is to go Son to Salah, mainly because of FOMO, and then going back from Salah to Spurs midfielder. Initially, I'm thinking Son, but Bale's there. I know I've had issues with Bale. I've had bad blood with Bale from 4 weeks ago.
You and me both.
Remember the show where I completely slacked off Bale for the entire thing? That's under Mourinho, so I can forgive him for that. Now we're just seeing what happens. Because if Bale does well in the Carabao Cup final, most likely than not, he's going to be in ahead of Son.
Wow. Is there any possibility that there'll be a triple up? Kane, Son, and Bale?
I have Reguilon. I think I'm happy with Reguilon. So he's going to stay. The other two will come in, and happy days.
Okay. What's your advice on players who have both Spurs and City assets? I mean, with City assets, we always know that it's a rotation risk. With Pep there, we know they pretty much got the the Premier League title sewn up. We know that they're gunning for the Champions League. Is it really time? I know Joe on the show has said, that I'm done with City assets. I'm selling them all. Is that the smart thing to do? Or, do we still need those John Stones, those Ruben Diaz's, those Cancelos, good ones, and the Mahrez?
I feel like I'm just going to answer one bit by bit. With the Man City defense, even if the whole title is already sewn up, Champions League thing, if that thing even didn't exist, I might be looking to sell my City defensive asset because cracks are starting to appear in the Man City defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would probably just steer away from them now. Cracks are starting to appear. They've been on and off with the defense, with the clean sheets recently. So I would stay away from the defense. In terms of attack, it really depends because Kevin De Bruyne, not many people still own Kevin De Bruyne. So if you can get to him, I'll probably still keep him because I'm looking around at teams from other players. Not many of them have KDB. So he's probably still a good shout because he's going to play every single game.
Yeah.
And he's probably the heartbeat of this entire City team. Other than that, it's hard to point a finger at anyone you'd keep. Seems like
Phil Foden.
Depends on which. Yeah, Phil Foden's another. Depends on which 11 gets the Premier League and which 11 gets the Champions League. It seems like Foden and Mahrez gets one slot. Sterling and Ferran Torres or Bernardo Silva gets another slot. So it depends on which one starts which. You never know with this. So it's hard to guess.
Okay. All right. While we're on you, Sam, we're gonna look at players that we should be targeting for only game week 33. You mentioned earlier about Leicester assets. Was that you or Swing? Sorry, it might have been Swing actually. Yeah, it might have been Swing. But okay, so we'll talk about Leicester assets with you, Swing, since you did mention that. But other than the players that we know of, obviously your Fernandez's, your Salah's, your Jotas. I mean, who should we be looking at to bring in if we wanted to make a transfer for game week 33?
So
I know Sam gonna hate this, but I'm gonna say Danny.
We'll start with Sam first, and then we'll come to you, Swing.
Okay. So I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking this fixture, Sheffield United versus Brighton. I feel like Swang's got. How many Brighton have you got? 3.
I have 2. I have double defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double up on Brighton defense.
Yeah, I will only have 1. But if you're looking at this week and this week only, Veltman, Webster, Lewis Dunk. That's your free hit defense. Don't think twice. In terms of attack, I feel like Danny Welbeck has had a few shots recently. The only thing I'm not concerned.
He hit the post against Chelsea, didn't he, late on?
Yeah, he did.
My only worry with any Brighton attacker is the fact that they are so on and off. And especially with Welbeck, he will always be remembered as the guy who successfully failed to chip Manuel Neuer. So there's that.
It's your haunted.
But yeah, I feel like with Brighton attackers, I feel like there's always this thing where you don't really trust them. So yeah, it depends on how you feel about it. After that, you'll have. I feel like he's mentioned Leicester. So other than that, probably this one because Newcastle. you never know with Newcastle which Newcastle are going to turn up. So, and Liverpool, they are on a little bit of a good one for the first time this season. So maybe
name me 3 players from your pick for game week 33.
Okay, my 3 picks would be Dunk, Webster, Veltman. I've already said them, so I'm just gonna stick with them.
So you triple up.
You just want the triple up.
All right.
Okay.
I'm giving you the freedom of 8 fixtures. Choose whoever you want.
All right, so we're going to look at you, and obviously you mentioned Leicester City assets there. Madison came back into the side. You still have Vardy and Iheanacho with 2 up top. But who are the 3? Who are the assets to target for game week 33?
I would say both Vardy and Iheanacho this game week.
Oh yeah,
both
of them. Okay.
Yeah. And then you take a Brighton defender at your own choice.
Hey, it's just not Ben White, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, very set on that Brighton fixture, but Vardy, he's had a bit of a tough time. Hasn't really scored the goals. Has been involved a lot with the goals, but hasn't really put the ball in the back of the net. Managed to do so. For that kind of money, though, I mean, you're talking about a large investment. Wouldn't it be safer to maybe go for a Leicester or wing back, Castañas or someone like that, and then have Iheanacho up top instead, save you some money?
Yeah, that's a good point. And let's I currently have Fofana, and Leicester's next 3 games are damn good. Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Newcastle. And the Newcastle game is potentially a double game week because of the FA Cup final. So you can go double defense. You can double up on Castagne and Fofana and go Iheanacho up top. But the thing is, we don't know whether Rodgers will continue subbing Fofana out, because last night he subbed Fofana out because he had to fast. And I don't know. And in the next few games, their games are also at the same time, like 8 p.m. at night. So I worry that he might sit one game out. Yeah, so Castagne is damn good.
Good point. That's something we actually haven't really considered. The fasting period, and obviously you have people like Salah springs to mind straight away. I mean, we talked about players, but we never really raised that as a possibility. I mean, do you reckon Salah's minutes could be affected?
The Salah fasting.
Mane as well.
The thing is right. I think Fofana is mainly rested because he's more like he's just coming to the game. He's 2-3 years into senior football. I guess that's why he's been taken in and out. Salah, he's been through this a long time, so I guess he's used to it.
Yeah.
I think he even played through the Champions League final while fasting in that Real Madrid game a few years ago.
Okay.
So I think they should be fine, even because he went through even Mane's went through the last game completely fine as well. So.
Okay, so not a concern for you, Sam, then.
Not high on the order.
They are professional athletes. So Fofana he just came to England his first season. He needs time to adapt to the environment.
Okay.
But Salah, Mane, they are veterans in this.
Okay, so your 3 picks, just to go over it. For you, Sam, they are literally the Brighton back line.
Brighton defense, yeah.
Brighton defense. Veltman, Dunk, and who was the other one?
Webster.
That's it. And for you, Swang?
Vardy, Iheanacho, and pick one from the 3 mentioned from Sam.
Okay, perfect. Which brings us nicely to game week 33 captaincy options. Now, obviously, this is the part where we trust that asset with our lives. I want to say, but I wouldn't go that far. We trust it with the armband to obviously hopefully give us those green arrows for the game week. And are we really spot for choice this week? What do you guys think?
I think there's 3 main contender. There's 3 main contender. Salah, Fernandes, and Iheanacho.
Trent.
Yeah, I think with Iheanacho,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to look at it and the form that he's in. He's playing Crystal Palace. Obviously, definitely be looking at him. Salah now, historically, that Liverpool Newcastle fixture, guarantees us goals. If you think back, but like I say, how much will this fasting thing have an effect on them? Will they play? Will there be a bit of rotation? But Liverpool need the points, especially after dropping more against Leeds. I mean, what do you guys think? Who are you trusting with the armband?
Salah was rested last game as well, so he's fresher than the rest.
Yeah, true.
My armband is currently on Salah. I'm cutting Salah right now, and I don't think I'll change. But
so you're on Salah,
really tempting. Yeah, I'm Salah now.
For me, it's that guy from Manchester United. He wears number 18. He's called Bruno Fernandes. I believe you've heard of him before. I think I'm captaining him.
He's been missing for a while, so I might have forgotten.
Look at his form, bro.
He's playing well. He's just not getting the goals.
I mean that's a good point. I'm going to just bring FPL Mariners a tweet up, which is really interesting. He obviously did the show Net That Haul. Can you guys see it?
It's still okay. Yeah. It's out now.
Okay. Obviously, he does a show called Net That Haul. Mariner comes on our show every now and again as well. But what you can see on your screens is an updated version of the captaincy metric, which he did on his show last night. Last night, it didn't have the impact that Iheanacho had. It was before the Leicester versus West Brom game. Obviously, Iheanacho had a return, and there was a possibility that he could shoot to the top of the metric. He did get a return, and he did shoot to the top. And he sits comfortably there for game week 33. Kelechi Iheanacho first. Bruno Fernandes, as you mentioned, Sam, is in second, and Marcus Rashford in third. Someone who we haven't really mentioned throughout this show. Vardy in fourth, who you picked as one of the assets to watch out for or to potentially bring in swing for game week 33. And then it's Jota, Salah, Mount, Watkins, Trent, and Bamford. But let's talk about the top three: Iheanacho, Fernandes, Rashford. Iheanacho surely has to come into consideration for the armband, guys.
Yeah, on form and playing Crystal Palace, it's all you want. And I'm wondering why I'm not on him. I think it's due to the price, the value of Iheanacho. He's like, what price is he compared to Salah, who was a premium?
I think 5.7.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely a lot cheaper than Salah.
I feel like it's a bit like Gundogan at the start of the season. You really won't captain him because he's 5 million.
Yeah.
But
when you go they're playing Crystal Palace as well. I mean, that combination with Maddison, with Vardy, with Iheanacho, with the two wing backs. Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. It really does, on paper.
And he's proving it on the pitch as well.
I'm just pulling out the history of Leicester versus Crystal Palace to see how their record is.
I think the reverse fixture, Iheanacho actually missed a penalty in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. I think he missed a penalty.
I remember they drew, I think. 1-1.
Yeah, they drew.
I can't remember.
And Iheanacho missed a penalty.
Iheanacho, let me just check.
He did.
There. He did. Apart from that, they have a good record.
You cannot ignore his current form.
Funny thing is that the record is actually quite mixed because
I think they lost 4-0 once.
The last game they drew 1-1. Last season it was Leicester won 3-0 and 2-0. The season before that, Crystal Palace won 4-1 and 1-0. But I think after that, it's before Rodgers got charged. Yeah, before that, Rodgers wasn't there. So you can only start looking from like the 4-1 thing. So it's a bit mixed. It's a bit mixed.
I mean, for me, you always go with players that are in form, right? I mean, that's the golden rule. If you're in form, you captain them. I mean, price is irrelevant, really. But when you look at Bruno, he didn't really return when United got 3 goals. We're really banking, and as Mariner pointed out as well, a lot of those returns are penalties. Or goals rather are penalties rather than from open play. So he did mention on Net That Hall that there was a lot of Leeds do give away a lot of penalties. So maybe that has something to do with it as well. But what's your reasoning behind captaining him, Sam?
It's mostly to do with how our fixture with Leeds and the reverse fixture went. There was a lot of turnovers, and we, like Manchester United, are probably the best team in the league when it comes to turnovers. And Bruno Fernandes is the heart of everything we do. So technically, at some point, he has to get a return. So that's kind of the reasoning why I backed him. If he gets a penalty,
Mason Greenwood not stuck out to you?
Mason Greenwood.
You look at the bottom right. You look at the bottom right. It says Greenwood will be above Rashford if he wasn't a rotation race.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. True. I guess the thing with Greenwood is I would have brought him in for Jota if Jota was actually injured, but Jota wasn't injured, so Greenwood doesn't get into my team.
Okay. So nothing in that metric will change either of your minds?
Not really. I think I'm set. Also, funny thing about Rashford, right? Oh yeah, funny thing about Rashford. I just checked the FPL website to see who's like the top scoring midfielders. Yeah. Rashford is fourth.
So I'm guessing it's Salah, Son, KDB, Gundogan.
No,
Rashford,
Bruno Fernandes, Son,
KDB.
Salah. Rashford is fourth. Gundogan is fifth. Kevin De Bruyne is below them.
Bruno, Son, Salah, Fernandes.
Okay.
So it's Bruno, Son, Salah, Fernandes, Gundogan.
So you're sticking with Bruno, Sam?
I'm sticking with Bruno. 100%.
And the thing about Rashford is he's carrying an injury at all times. I think he didn't even attend training.
I guess the problem with Rashford is he's 9 million. He's not a captaincy option because of the fact that he's not really an explosive option. He's more of a consistent guy. He will return one return, be it onto the next one, one return, be it onto the next one. So he's not really somebody you can trust with the armband. And at 9 million, I feel like you can't allow that. You kind of need some sort of reliability with a captaincy. So there's that.
Especially when he's the same price as Son and Bale.
Yeah, that's the thing. Son is I guess you can rely on him with the armband.
And when you have Greenwood is much cheaper as well.
You have Greenwood, you have Cavani, so yeah.
I would go for Greenwood, Cavani before I think of Rashford.
Okay. I did say earlier on that there could be no Jota this week. Apparently, according to Ben Dinnery, Diogo Jota is fine. So whether that means he's back in training, I think the whole thing was that he wasn't pictured in training, which got a few people worried. But why I brought up Jota is Liverpool, Salah. Should we be looking to Liverpool assets? Are they the team that we're looking for against this Newcastle side who everyone seems to really dislike?
Especially the guy on top of me.
Yeah, that's who I was looking at.
All right, I gotta admit they have been attacking better, but their defense. Saint-Maximin, I like him, but the thing is, they still can't defend well, and I still think you can always target Newcastle, especially under Steve Bruce.
And Sam, Liverpool assets.
I guess it's more to do with the fixture as well. Newcastle, they're not really... I think they're 15, 16 in the league for a reason. So, yeah.
All right. Okay, boys. We're going to go to questions from the community. This is obviously the bit where, let me just get this screen sharing off.
The bit where we waffle.
This is the bit where we answer all the questions that we have in the live chat over there from the community. I'm just going to go through them, just looking through it. Alex Sofian says, hi, guys. Long time since we've seen Mariner on the channel. Yes, it is. It has been a long time since we've seen Mariner. He's very busy. He's now officially back to work. He has his own show that he has to do as well, so he's very tied up with a lot of things. I don't think we'll be seeing him back on this channel this season, but we'll give him the summer off, and hopefully he comes back in the new season, and he'll be here to answer your questions. But he's still very much part of FPL expectations. Wanzo Helmi, hello boys. Should I keep Lacazette or should I sell him? Swang.
I think he done his hamstring, isn't it? Like he's injured, and
he's injured. Yeah.
Gone. Yeah. I wouldn't keep, especially Arsenal is still in the Europa League. I wouldn't keep Lacazette. I would sell him.
Sam?
Vardy or Inacho.
I'm just checking about Lacazette. I couldn't find anything. But yeah, I think he's injured.
I did check Ben Dinnery, and he did say as well that Lacazette is still not won't be fit.
So yeah, I guess Lacazette just spin him, I guess.
Lacazette is still working with the medical team. That was Ben Dinnery's tweet.
Yeah, I would sell him.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so sell Lacazette, Wanzo Helmi. Virgil van Dijk says Phillips for -4 for Castagna.
Yep.
I'm sure you both will be in favor of that.
Phillips is out this week as well.
Yep. There's really no second doubting this one. Yeah, he's out.
So.
Klopp said it.
Okay. So yes, no brainer there for the boys. Wanzo Helmi, Bamford or Watkins? Watkins very much the man in form. But Leeds against United, could they get a few goals here and there? Like I said, there are goals in this fixture, boys.
Is there an option for neither?
Yeah, Watkins has hurt me too much for the past few games.
Okay, he does go on to say, is there any striker worth to buy besides Vardy for this game week 33?
Okay, he has Iheanacho.
He already has him.
Yeah, we have Iheanacho, so.
Is there anybody else worth buying? Oh, I think he wants.
What's your price range?
For
What's his price bracket? Okay, so Lacazette, so that should
give
him.
Vardy's in the 10 million range, right?
Okay, I don't think he can afford Vardy. I think let's just for the sake of it, let's say his budget is
Vardy.
Oh,
Danny Welbeck, come on, give Danny Welbeck a try.
So besides
after this week,
I mean, what about Chelsea? Should he take a punt on someone like Timo Werner?
No. Stay away from Timo Werner. Just stay away. He's not going to score. He's not going to do anything. Come on.
What? Why did you press the button, Chris?
Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for a striker from you, Sam.
Okay, I'm just thinking Cavani, but I'm just trying to find a better option. There's really nobody else.
Cavani's a very good shout, to be fair.
Calvert-Lewin's fit again. Calvert-Lewin.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back fit. It's back fit.
Could be fit. It's a gamble.
And they're playing
in that
around
case,
2 hours.
In that case, my final answer would be still Cavani.
Cavani?
Don't get Timo Werner. Do not go for Timo Werner. Right.
So basically, Swing says anyone but Werner.
Well, that's coming from a Chelsea fan in Swing as well. You definitely can't get him now. Swing, who would be the striker to buy besides Jamie Vardy?
I mean, it hurts to say this, but I think Watkins.
Ollie Watkins?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ollie Watkins.
Who are they playing? West Brom. Oh, yeah, that's why. Now it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Okay,
That's the
so
only reason. Like,
Ollie
We
Watkins
are
for
fighting
you,
for
Swing.
squads for forwards.
I'm still sticking with Cavani because the
Okay.
fixtures after for West Ham, or no, after for Villa aren't very good. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Cavani.
All right. Mark MX Cross. I don't know how you want to say that. Diaz and Aspie to Trent and Holding. What do you boys think about that?
You go first time.
I'm just
Why
thinking,
Aspie?
is there any?
Aspie has a good fixture, no?
That's what I was thinking. Why do you want to get rid of
and
Aspie?
run
Unless you
would-
need cash. Unless you need cash, why would you get rid of Aspilicueta?
Yeah.
Maybe he
This
really
thing.
wants TAA.
If you want TAA, can you go? I think you can go Dallas to Trent. If you can't, if you need the 1 million, go SP to Rudiger or SP to Christensen. You're sorted.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
about
thing is,
Christian. I think
Chel-
more Rudiger.
I think Aspie will be safe from rotation from next game. Because
Let me just check.
Chelsea defense is also a big rotation. Even the keeper, but Tuchel did say that Mendy will play against West Ham. The thing about defenders, you don't know who's going to start left wing back, and if you have Alonso, definitely sell Alonso. And
Sell Alonso.
even Rudiger, I cannot see him starting the next 2 games, especially with Real Madrid. If we have to beat, I think the whole world wants us to beat Real Madrid. Because of the
Yeah, especially what's gone on in the last 7 days. The world definitely would like that, but let's not forget Chelsea were a part of the ESL as well.
Okay. One thing.
I understand.
Craig.
Yeah.
So I calculated the thing. I don't think you can go Diaz and SP to TA and Rudiger. There's not enough cash.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the only way he can get to Trent.
So it's
All right.
maximum already. Maximum.
Would you do this? Would you guys do this?
I mean, I
wouldn't be against it because
I mean, my only thing is, bringing in an Arsenal defender.
yeah.
that's my only concern. Rob Holding.
Yeah.
But
I think
Frank can cover the deficit.
With that, can you bring in Brighton defender?
Dan Burn. 4.2.
Webster's 4.3. Webster's 4.3, I think.
There we
can
go.
get to Webster.
There's that headache sorted then.
Webster's 4.3. If you can get to him, get to him.
Okay. So
trust me on this.
So the final decision is Diaz to and Aspie to Trent and a Brighton defender within your
that would be
budget.
That would be ideal.
We can afford, that would be our final answer.
Okay, so Diaz and Aspie to Trent and a Brighton defender. Another question, follow up for that is thoughts on Iheanacho captain. We're not going to go too much into this because we did just discuss this already. Do go back and watch what we discussed on that. According to Mariners metric, he does top it, Iheanacho, so it would be the wise choice. However, both our experts here are not going with him. Find out who they are going to captain when you look back through the show. Wanzo Helmi, is there any striker worth to buy besides Vardy? I think we answered this.
I think we just answered that exact same question.
Yeah. Nurjahan Khatun says, play one of Lingard, Alonso, or Shaw. And thoughts on Greenwood as captain? Well, I mentioned Mason Greenwood. I don't know. I didn't mention him about being a captain. Not sure how I feel about that.
I'll let the United fans talk about him.
Let's take this one at a time. Play one of Lingard, Alonso, or Shaw.
Lingard, I guess, because Alonso's clearly out, so it's basically Lingard versus Luke Shaw. And I'd probably say play the attacker, Lingard, because you never know.
Yeah.
With the form he's in, you never know.
I mean, hard to say this, but I'll go Lingard.
Okay, so both favouring the attacker over the defender and going with Lingard. All right, Swang, thoughts on Greenwood as captain?
I think I'm only one owning Greenwood here. I just can't captain Greenwood. He's in good form, but I think Salah is. I mean, there's better options.
Okay.
And
So
he's
better
still a
options
rotation risk.
Greenwood. Sam, your thoughts on captaining Greenwood?
The second best midfielder in the league.
We'll see. We'll see on that. We'll see on that. I'm not in favor. I just feel like there are better options. There are better options there. Like Greenwood's on form, yeah, sure, but for captain,
okay.
Nah.
So no, Johan, there you have your thoughts on both the experts. Play Lingard, they said, but stay away from captaining Mason Greenwood.
Oh, yeah, who are your other options? By the way, who are your? If you are still in the chat, can you tell me who your other options are? Yeah, I think that might give us better context.
Robbie says, I have 3 Leicester City players, I have 3 Liverpool players, and 1 Man United player. That's why I should be inclined to captain Bruno. I guess that's the question. Should he captain Bruno?
Isn't you as well? You as well.
Me?
Yeah, you have
that would be 3. No, I have 2. I have 2 United. I don't have 3. Bruno and Shaw.
No, it says that 3.
Should Rabi be captaining a Leicester player or a Liverpool player instead of Bruno?
I guess if the reason why you're captaining a United player instead of a Leicester or Liverpool player because you only have 1 of United and 3 of the other, that logic is a bit flawed to me.
I mean, if you load up on so much, you should believe in them even more. So you should captain one.
So I guess I'm just looking at what he's trying to say. I guess it's more the fact that you already have enough eggs in that basket. So you don't want to put another thing in there and you want to diversify it. So I guess I can see where this is coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm captaining Bruno, so I am in favor of captaining Bruno. But what if you don't have triple Leicester, if you don't have triple Liverpool, who do you think will be the best captaincy option? If it is one of Leicester or Liverpool, then just captain them. There's really no harm in it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Don't think too much, I would say.
Don't think too much about it.
Just choose whoever you think will score the most points.
Sorry?
Just captain the one who you think will score the most points and not think about too much.
So captain whoever your heart tells you to, basically, Rabi, is the advice. But Sam, for the record, is captaining Bruno Fernandes. So there we go. Shamshul Adli Sharifuddin says, planning to sell Son for Greenwood or Rashi, and then -4 selling Rafinha for Trossard. What do you guys reckon? So Son for Greenwood or Rashi, and then -4 selling Rafinha for Trossard. Boys, all for it?
All for it.
All for it.
Well, Greenwood, I would do Greenwood instead of Rashford.
Greenwood instead of Rashford, and you, Sam?
Yeah, Greenwood. Why not?
Yeah, it will save you a ton of cash as well. So you're going to be shopping towards that the end of that season. Where else? Where are we? Be a man, take a hit. The boys are loving the hits, but we're not taking hits, are we?
We're not. He's taking a hit. Okay.
He's taking a hit.
I haven't pressed the button.
Yeah, he hasn't yet. It's 10 minutes before the deadline. So no hits taken just yet, Mr. Ali. Calm down. But there's still 40 minutes to go. Another reminder: if you haven't done your transfers or saved your teams, there's 40 minutes to go. So yeah, quickly get on there. Keep checking your team, change whatever substitutions that you need to, and make those transfers if you need to. Take hits even, just like Mr. Ali likes it.
Joe will approve.
Mr. Ali says, Lingard or Mount?
Lingard.
This is West Ham versus Chelsea, basically. Who's going to score?
Lingard
or Mount, yeah? Even from you, Swain?
Yeah, because Mount could play in the pivot instead of the front three because of the Kante has fitness issue and Kovacic is injured. So Mount, he's not explosive, he just trickle down, and with Jorginho starting, he's not even on pens. I would say Lingard.
Okay, wow, very honest. See, that's why we love you. You're honest. No, your heart doesn't rule your FPL head. Love it. Vincent asks Alonso and Jota for TAA and Martinelli.
Who's Martinelli?
Martinelli. Wow.
Just joking. I know who he is. I can tell you
why Martinelli is coming to this equation. It's obviously because Lacazette, it looks like he's not going to be playing. And Martinelli has been pretty good since he's come back into the side. We don't know what the status of Aubameyang is, although Eddie Nketiah did score the equalizer last time out. But Martinelli, cheap, good, has a knack of contributing to goals. What do you think about this move, guys?
I think that's my first time hearing the name of Martinelli this season.
Since the slip.
Yeah.
Since the slip, this is the first time. I had to slip it in.
Slip?
I had to.
There's no slip.
I had to slip it in. Okay, going back, right? I'm not sure Martinelli, but then again, there's really no other good options. That's the thing. There's really no other good options.
But we want to sell Jota.
If you think Martinelli against Everton is a good option, I'm sure there are much better options this week.
No. I'm just not convinced. I don't know. There's something about Arsenal in general. I don't want to go there.
I know. So there are a ton of options if you're not going to take Arsenal.
Okay, Martinelli is 4.9 million. Okay, what's the price of Alonso and Jota combined?
A lot.
Let's find. Let's do some maths. You're
looking about 14 million versus I don't know, 12, maybe something like that.
13 million. Alonso and Jota combined to about 13 million.
Yeah.
Trent is 7.5. Martinelli is 4.9. That's 12.4. You have 0.8 million to spend. So 4.9 plus 0.8. So that's 5.7. Who is in the region of 5.7? Harrison. Harrison's there. Trossard is there.
Trossard. That's a decent
Trossard's within there. Trossard's within that range. So I guess it really depends on if he's your bench option, because I guess that's another factor that he has to take into account, because if you have Trossard there, you're basically going for a 6 million bench option. So I'm not an expert in that. Swank has a 5.7 million bench option in Rafinha, so you should ask him how it feels like to have an expensive bench player. I'm not an expert in that topic.
I don't really think it matters just much because I have so much money in the bank. Currently, I have 4.4 million in the bank.
How do you have that much money?
I didn't go for Fernandez basically. That's why I have all the money in the bank.
We have the
guys,
same
back to this, guys. Back to this, Vincent. We've done your team swing. Not going to talk about your team. We've had you a chance to talk about them. Alonso, Jota, TAA, and Martinelli. Do we do this, or does he go for Trossard instead?
I'll go for Trossard.
Yeah, I will go for Trossard.
You would go for Trossard, yeah?
TA and Trossard.
Okay, so TAA and Trossard is the pick, Vincent. Stay away from Martinelli, say the boys. We've got a new hitman since Joe couldn't join us today. It's Mr. Ali. I'm the new hitman, minus 12 with TAA, Madison, Greenwood, and Vardy all coming in. Wow, that's big. That's big. I'm assuming he's getting rid of City and Spurs assets, but I'm not so sure. He's not. He's getting rid of Struijk, Jota, Son, and Kane. So two Spurs assets go right out of his team. Be interesting to see, however, if he gets them back the following week. Meher asked, Captain Trent.
Yeah, I was talking about the previous thing. That wasn't actually a question, was it?
That was just a statement.
That was just a statement. Okay, just making sure because we just glanced over. Captain Trent, I think we mentioned it for half a second, and before this segment.
Yeah. Captaincy option or not?
Yeah. Now I'll take captaincy option. Option yes. But depends on who you have. Is it number one? Is it number 1? No. Is it number 2? No. Is it number 3? Probably not. But depends on how risky you feel, how risky you want to go.
It can totally pay off. It can totally pay off. You can get a
The
clean
way
sheet.
he's going,
Yeah.
the way he's going the attacking returns, he might get another one. And Liverpool are bound to have a clean sheet at some point, maybe this week.
Okay, I'll just say that he's 9th on FPL Mariners captaincy metric. So
any defenders above him?
Yeah, he's there, but he's 9th.
Participation trophy, good enough for me.
And he has 2 bonus points in the last 4 games.
2 bonus points in the last 4 games.
In each of the last 4 games, he has 3 bonus points in each game.
Also, max bonus in 2 consecutive games.
Yeah. So he's a magnet, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Basically, the Real Madrid game inspired him to do good for some reason.
It looks like it because he's been racking up those points ever since. All right, Mr. Ali, shout out FPL Expectations for giving me the right advice and giving me game week 32 85 points. Thank you, Mr. Ali, for watching FPL Expectations first and foremost. And we're glad we answered your questions and that we can help you getting such a good score of 85 points. And again, thank you for tuning in today. Just like everyone else out there that's watching. Mendy versus West Ham or Martinez versus Aston Villa. Martinez has higher clean sheet saves potential and obviously racks up the bonus points. But Mendy is playing in a better defense. Swing, I'm going to come to you for this. Martinez versus Martinez is against West Brom.
West Brom.
Yeah.
Martinez can't play himself.
I'm going to come to you first because we're talking about Mendy and obviously you're a Chelsea fan. Is Mendy going to start or is it going to be Kepa?
Mendy will start. Tuchel just said in the press conference that Mendy will start.
Okay. What was the reason for him not playing the last game?
Tuchel has a tendency to play Kepa in the PL game immediately after the FA Cup round. So last time against Newcastle, he also started immediately after the FA Cup game. So I think just trying to give him some game time. He costs a lot of money.
Fair enough. So Mendy versus West Ham or Martinez versus West Bromwich?
I'll pick Martinez. I think it's really hard to bench him. He doesn't even need to get a clean sheet sometimes to get bonus point. But the thing is, Villa defense has been quite poor recently, and they don't have Matty Cash. He was suspended, and Jack Grealish is unavailable. Damn.
Okay.
I'll start Mendy.
Start Mendy. What about yourself, Sam?
I feel like I'm just going to go for Martinez. Every time you go against Martinez, the consequences are unreal. And also he's playing, 19th place West Brom, whose confidence are done. So I'm going to go Martinez on this one.
Okay.
All right.
Just remember, half an hour to go for you guys to sort out your teams. I like to say 20 minutes because it all gets a little bit too frantic on the server and online once that 10-minute mark comes through. So play it safe and do your team within the next 20 minutes. Mr. Ali says, do you think Newcastle attacking well recently? Will Liverpool keep a clean sheet? I've got Kabak and Trent in defence. Liverpool defensively haven't been great. I'm not even talking about recently, but this season in general. What do you guys think about a double up in defense against Newcastle?
They do have Saint-Maximin and Wilson is back. He did score last week.
Yeah,
he scored quite a few. He scored quite a few recently.
Maybe he finally decided to put on a shooting boots. And the thing is, Phillips is injured, means Fabinho will move back to centre back, and I think that's a huge difference to the midfield. And I can see Newcastle scoring. But but you can pray when you have double defense.
Going double defense on any defense is scary. Even when you went on benches double Man City defense early in the season, when they were practically the best defense in Europe, was still scary. And that was without considering Pep Roulette. So any double defense is scary. But this one still is.
Yeah.
Are you buying Kabak or do you already have Kabak? Because if you don't have Kabak and you're trying to go for him, I would not
he was
go
one
there.
who did a negative 12. He did a negative 12 and brought TA in.
Oh, yeah. So.
Okay. Do you guys think Liverpool will keep a clean sheet?
No, I can't see that.
No. No for you, Swing?
I think there's a good chance they will. There's a good chance they will.
So we have Swing saying no and Sam saying yes, they will keep a clean sheet.
The guy with the Newcastle agenda just said Liverpool are going to concede.
Hey, that's his opinion. He's definitely entitled to it. Vincent says, who's going to return sooner, Joe or Kane? That's actually a tough one.
What's the next
Joe was here last week.
Joe was here last week.
With all about FPL. Mm-hmm. I believe in Joe. I believe Joe will return faster than Kane.
Wow. So no chance for Kane for the Carabao Cup final then?
Yeah.
No.
Meher says James Rodriguez or Siggy for the double. Whoa.
Oh, Everton.
Sigurdsson. I might go Sigurdsson.
Yeah. Really?
I'll probably go.
Sigurdsson's
personality as well. Yeah, that's a deciding factor. Like James Rodriguez is more like the creative hub, but Sigurdsson has the penalties. So, yeah. Who takes set pieces for Everton? I kind of forgot. Was it Rodriguez or was it Sigurdsson?
Is it me?
I'm not even sure. They have a lot of set piece takers.
I don't think they have even announced a double of Everton against Villa. I think when a double comes,
a potential one.
Yeah, I mean it will
coming.
Happen.
It will have to happen.
Sigurdsson will be the better pick.
Okay. So move on. Mr. Ali says he already has Kabak, and he's benching Rudiger and Shaw. Mustaks asks Saiz or Cody thinking to replace Cancelo?
Saiz. I'm thinking Saiz, yeah.
Go track.
Okay,
better.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say better attacking threat, but Swang already said it, so yeah.
Okay. Saiz for both the boys. Miss Ali says, yeah, I'm liking Siggy too, in agreement with you. 6 million defender, best pick is Castagna. Who do you recommend? 6 million.
There's Castagna, there's Azpilicueta, that's about it, right? There isn't really any standard options in that 6 million range. Shaw's a tier down at 5.
Tier 1, okay.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go for that 6 million range, there's Castagna, there's Azpilicueta, that's about it.
And all the Man City defenders which you want to avoid.
That's it. That's all in the 6 million range.
Yeah. In that range, Castagna is the best, especially this week.
Okay, so we'll stick with Castagna for that 6 million range, yeah? Guys, that's all the questions that we have. We're about... Oh, no, it's not. Sorry.
There's one more.
Not a question. But Alistair Gold just tweeted, Harry Kane working on the training pitches at Hotspur Way today. Here's hoping he might join with the team tomorrow. So, it could be Kane back quicker than Joe, quite possibly. We know Harry Kane is a fast...
In Joe we trust.
We need a Joe fitness test.
All right, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for joining us on this late night Game Week 33 deadline stream. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you, everyone that's been watching FPL Expectations. 25 minutes to go before the deadline. Make sure you listen to the advice. You can go back on the stream, watch the video. I'm posting it up straight away so you can have a look back at anything that you think you might have missed out on, or if you need any questions that need answering, I'm sure the boys would have covered it at some point on the show. Just a confirmation before we end this. Sweng, final captain, and are you taking a hit?
Mosa, and yes, I'll be taking the hit for Fernandez.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So Sweng is going with Salah, and he is taking a hit for Bruno Fernandes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Sam, captain, final captain.
Captain Bruno Fernandes. Confirmed.
Okay. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for being on the stream with me. It's been a pleasure having you both as always. Sweng, thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me, Craig. Glad to always be here in expectation.
And Sam, thank you as well for sharing some of your time with us.
Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure to be here and all that.
And thank you if you're watching. Remember, not too long away from the deadline. Do your changes, save your teams. And yeah, if you want to take hits like our good friend Mr. Ali, please do so as well. It's been a pleasure having all of you on here today. It's going to be a blank game week 33. Spurs and City will not be playing as they are facing each other in the Carabao Cup final. But with that, I'm going to leave you to it. Good luck, and may the FPL gods be with you.